Welcome to the Discover Montcalm Podcast, where we're going to take a look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County. Here is your podcast host, Duane.
Hello, my name's Duane. I'm the host and producer of the Discover Montcalm Podcast, and today we're going to talk about the story. What is the story of Montcalm County? I was kind of sitting back and thinking about it, and I was wondering, the story could be different things to different people. I recently posted a video, it was episode 55, that I had ran into a gentleman at an event and ended up getting a really wonderful interview about the history of this area. And one person, when I posted it, said something about they really liked these kinds of stories. The stories that kind of tell the history, but they're also of a person, of a family. And it kind of got me thinking, that is what I want to do with the Discover Montcalm podcast. So what really is the story? And I think the story takes on many things and can be different for many different people. For me, the story is the family that has owned a business for generations and that it gets passed down and has been around for 50, 100 years, whatever the case may be. But the story could also be the people that have just started a business, a family that is putting everything on the line to go into business for themselves and to say, we are going to offer this product, this service, and this is what we're going to do. That's the story. The story can also be of the organizations around Montcalm County that help the citizens of our county. There are a number of them. Ones that help children, ones that help the elderly, ones that help people get jobs, some that offer counseling. So the story continues to grow. Each community in our county is a story all by itself. Each community differs. Vesterberg has a story. Coral has a story. Lakeview has a story. The story is not only today, what's happening in those communities as we are going through life right now, but the story could also be the history. Be the history of Vesterberg. And who better to tell that history and to tell that story would be people that have been here for a long time. So those are kind of a lifelong learning type of story that we could interview within the podcast, and I welcome that. The more Discover Montcalm continues to grow and continues to reach out, I'm looking for those stories. The attractions. What attractions do we have within our county? Where are they? Where are people going? There's stories there. We have agriculture, which is really big in our county. What are people doing today in the farm? One thing that I tell people a lot is I'm after the story. I want a conversation. It's not an interrogation. It's one of those things that I want people to learn and to know what's going on all around our county. It's not just what's happening in one area. I would like Carson City to know what Vesterberg is doing, and Howard City, and Coral, and Lakeview, and Truefit. It goes on and on and on. The more we know about what's happening around our county, the better informed we are, and the better that we kind of keep our monies local. I've done stories on, why should someone buy local? And the big thing is it comes down to keeping our money here so that it supports our local ball teams, our local high schools, our local churches, the helping hands, food banks. Those types of things can be supported when the businesses in this area are being supported by the community members in this area, which lets them keep their doors open. It allows them to give back to their community. And the more that you shop locally, the more we can tell the story of these businesses and these organizations on how they're helping people. So the story is huge. The story could be of the different schools. The principals from each of the schools could come on and tell the story about what's happening in their elementary, public or private. We have a community college that is in our county that I'm sure there's a lot of stories there that can be told. That would be really cool. Let's learn more about what's going on. I know we've interviewed Kyle, the superintendent from the Montcalm Area Intermediate School District. We've interviewed Shannon from the Montcalm Area Career Center. So there's things that we've been doing already, but there's more out there. It's not just what I'm looking for. I'm actually reaching out to you to help me tell the stories. So if you have a family member that has been around this area for a long time, I would love to have you get in touch with me at 231-250-9624. It's all about the story. It's a conversation, not an interrogation. It's about the story. It's about informing people, where are there nice places to live in this county? I mean, there's real estate agents that we could bring in and we could tell their story. Why are you doing business? And why do you like your job? And what is it about this area that's important? We're going to continue more on the story, but first we're going to take a short pause.
We'd like to thank our sponsors. West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions is your perfect choice for managed IT, website design, website hosting, and consulting services. WMTDS.com, 616-485-7600. Custom Vinyl Signs and Busy Bee Embroidery and Gifts is your one-stop shop for embroidery, vinyl, screen printing, and engraving needs. Go to cvsdbusybees.com or call 989-261-7446. And DW Video, your film and videotape specialist. They design websites and business videos that tell and share your story. dwvideo.com, 231-250-9624. Now, back to our podcast.
I'd like to welcome you back to the Discover Montcalm Podcast, and today we're talking about the story. Discover Montcalm Podcast, I feel the main purpose of this podcast is the story. It's the story of our county. And our story runs pretty deep. And to some people, it's about the history. To other people, it might be about shopping locally. To other people, it might be about what organizations are here that can help us. If you know of an organization, you work at a business, I want to tell their story. I want to let everybody know what is available here so that people that are looking at moving into this area can go to the Discover Montcalm Podcast at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. You can catch us on Google Podcast and iTunes, or your favorite. You can come to discovermontcalmpodcast.com and you can click on the RSS feed. So that way you can put us into any of your favorite podcast browsers. The idea here is to continue to tell the story and let the podcast evolve. Right now, we're doing whatever we can. Hey, if you've got a local band and you're in the Montcalm County area, hey, I'm a musician. I love music. Let's get you on. Let's talk about it. You run a business out of your home. You have a farmer's market that you're at. There are so many stories. The list goes on and on, not to mention manufacturing. There are some businesses here in the county that not only are they made in the USA, they're made in Montcalm County. Those are the businesses I know I want to get to know more about, and I want to share them with you. So again, it's all about the story. If you have a story idea, reach out to me at 231-250-9624 or Duane at dwvideo.com. That's Duane at dwvideo.com. Share your ideas. Let's grow this so that it becomes a place about the positive things that are happening in Montcalm County. It's a conversation, not an interrogation. I am not out to get any dirt on anybody. I'm going to stay away from political because, quite frankly, I don't think you care what my opinion or my politics are. I don't want to stand here and use this platform to share those with you. I feel we all have our own views, and it's important that we kind of keep them and get along. If we don't disagree, or let me rephrase that, if we disagree on something, let's agree to disagree and move on and find ways that we can come together for the betterment of our county. Business, industry, families, organizations, attractions. That's Discover Montcalm. My name's Duane. I'm the host and producer, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to follow our podcast. Go on and share them, push them out. The more that we can do that, the more traction we get, the more we can bring attention to Montcalm County for the golden nugget that it is. So thank you again, and remember to buy and shop locally.
Connect and subscribe to Discover Montcalm Podcast at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Discover Montcalm Podcast. To be featured in an upcoming show, contact Duane at 231-250-9624. Remember to subscribe at discovermontcalmpodcast.com.